I'm thrilled to announce that this season's sponsor, Ruuby, is a personal favourite of mine. It is the premium at-home beauty and wellness services platform. Ruuby works with an incredible network of expert professional beauty and wellness therapists that can be booked directly to your home to deliver a host of treatments, from blow dries to manicures, makeup and massages. Ruuby vets all of their therapists, and I cannot fault the quality. I've been using the services for many years, and I've always had a 5-star experience. In a world where we're so busy, with limited time available to have our much-needed treatments, Ruuby allows you to get your time back in the luxury of your own home. Whether it's a 7 a.m. pre-work blow-dry, a relaxing evening facial, a last-minute spray tan, even IV drips, which you can book up to 60 minutes in advance in London, Manchester, Liverpool, and now Zurich too. Since launch, Ruuby has firmly positioned itself as the leading luxury on-demand beauty services app and has fans including Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, Robbie and Ida Williams, and Abby Clancy, and has been approved by the most discerning of beauty editors. The Ruuby app is available on the App Store and Play Store. You can also book your treatments online via their website. It is super simple to use, and when you book, use the code STYLEDNA for £20 off your first treatment. Today I'm going on a style journey with the entrepreneur, founder and CEO of the beauty on-demand platform Ruuby, the wonderful Venetia Archer. Thank you for having me. Oh, it's lovely to have you here. Because I'm a complete fan of Ruuby and always have been ever since the very beginning when I was introduced to you and your at-home beauty service. Frequently as I can. I had a divine facial the other day. God, 7 o'clock at night, candles, view of the river, and I just floated off the bed. It was fantastic.
That's what I love to hear. I love to hear those experiences.
I mean, I would love to know, what was your inspiration behind Ruuby?
I love convenience. I love convenience culture. So there's definitely a beauty element. But I remember I was, working sort of all hours of the day in London, at the office. And there was never any time where I could get my beauty treatments done. I remember, there's obviously the beautiful facials and the massages, but I'm talking about eyebrows, nails, there's sort of convenience sort of treatments that you need. And I'd find myself sort of sneaking out of the office to do, say like, just do a 5-minute mani. Couldn't book anything in the evenings or anything like that. So I sort of sat on this idea for a while, and I just thought, why isn't there an app, or why isn't there a business that I could call up and get someone to come and do this at home, early morning, late at night. I was dying to use a platform like this. And then I remember, it coincided with a time where, I was working in the way that I was, and I wanted to sort of make a change. I knew I wanted to do something on my own. I knew I wanted to start my own business, and it was sort of one of a few ideas. And then, as always, in the middle of the night, one night, I thought to myself, that's it. It's the app. It's the app for beauty treatments at home. And then that was it.
And was there a lot of tech behind building that platform?
Yes, absolutely. So that was almost that was the sort of first question mark that needed to be answered, is how do I build something like this? I knew that I wanted it to be app first. I knew that I wanted for it to sort of work with self-employed freelancers, and actually at the beginning salons as well. So it had to have that kind of on-demand element. So naturally there needed to be a tech piece. So that's where I started.
And you constantly have to update that tech.
So we built this terrible sort of first version, of the app, which, got us where it needed to be, in the early days of the business. And we've since completely rebuilt it, re-platformed. And we have, I think, a team of seven people in our tech team now. And I would say, if we could have 30, we would, because there's just so much that you want to do and iterate and build and, improve the product. So
where to next with Ruuby?
So I think, we're now, really in a great position in the UK. So London, Manchester, Liverpool, and the Cotswolds of other regions as well. And then we've just launched Switzerland. So that's our first permanent international home. So really, really kind of bedding into those key markets further into Switzerland. So they're in Zurich, St. Moritz, and then soon Geneva. and then thinking about further afield.
Wonderful, wonderful. I mean, it's a very personal thing inviting a stranger, a therapist,
Yeah.
into your home.
Yeah.
How do you vet?
For us, what we really kind of focus on is ensuring that we meet every single person that joins us. So we have a sort of a vetting process. We do trade tests for the different treatments. So it's a very extensive process. But then we really ensure that we're training around the kind of Ruuby ethos, the Ruuby way, so that it really does feel quite familiar when you do have someone come into the home, and of course as professional as it can be. Always you're focused on quality and curation. So for me, the most important thing, because it is such a personal service, inviting someone into your home, you're talking to them, they're seeing your kids, so it's so there's that element. But also there's, going back to the convenience element. If you're booking a treatment at home, it's very likely you don't have very much time. So, you're multitasking, or you've had a hugely busy week and you need an hour to relax, before the weekend. So, what's the point of doing that if you're going to get, a manicure that chips, or a blow dry that's going to fall flat, or, someone come with a, rickety bed? It's got to be really, really elevated in terms of quality. So like that's what sets us apart. And that's something that's like completely, embedded within the company's culture.
Beyond facials, massage, so makeup?
So we have so many incredible makeup artists, that do celebrity red carpet. We have Anna Wintour and Hillary Clinton's makeup artist. We had, the sort of celebrity tier artists who are all, you could sort of book on the app. So, and that's across category, right? So facials as well. So we're always looking to find the latest and greatest, either practitioners or treatments as well.
How did you come up with Ruuby?
W. So if I had £1,000,000 in the bank, I could have got ruby.com, but that was the reason why why we added the U. And it was sort of, when everyone's had a craze, weird weird names for the startups. But the inspiration was, that sort of that accessory to luxury, that red soul, red lip, that ruby. And I wanted Ruby to feel like, that sort of little beauty friend in your pocket, that made you feel a little bit great.
If I could ask you for the top 3 beauty treatments that you love personally, what would they be?
There's relaxation, there's like kind of the convenience sort of things. But I mean, I love a lymphatic. So lymphatic for us is just completely blown up over the past year. In terms of facials, so I love an advanced facial. And those are kind of the more, from a laser genesis, sort of laser oriented facial for pigmentation or skin condition. But then also my new thing is like lifting, like using massage to lift. So there's this incredible facialist on Ruuby called Iris, and she does the Korean Golgi massage. And so it's quite painful, but I also quite like that she just pulls up, that like does these incredible movements on the cheekbones, and you are so lifted. It looks, so she takes, 5 years off.
And if I were to ask you your top 3 beauty products, what would they be?
I actually have my real core. So I love Augustinus Bader, obsessed. I think it's the best skincare around. I've also love learning about the story and the science behind it, and the original work that was done for burns victims. So it's all kind of based on Nobel prize winning science that then been applied to skincare. So there's definitely a real kind of story to it, and the kind of data points behind it. But beyond that, you can sort of see it. You can really see a difference when you use it.
So, being the entrepreneurial spirit that you are, what are the next steps for Ruuby, do you think?
I'm really excited right now because this year was a very hard year. I feel like there are different kind of phases to business. So there's like those like years or months of like hard work. And this was one of those years for me. I'm only kind of coming out of,
And sorry, you did have a baby.
and I had a baby as well. So it's like, it's that we've done a lot of kind of the preparing and planning. And now I'm really excited, like, we've launched the first international market. So that's just, I like it being tangible and being able to like get my hands dirty and build it.
Where would be your sort of dream next cities or regions to open up in, do you think?
So I think there's a huge opportunity in the Middle East. Really excited about what's going on in the region, and I think that it would be a great home for Ruby.
On the app, do you offer any sort of dermatology treatments, injectables?
Particularly for some of our super users. So, we've got this sort of, core network of super users who just rely on Ruby for everything. So, we really work with like the best practitioners who are able to come home, get it done, don't have to leave the house.
Salmon sperm facials?
Not yet. Not yet. I know. Taking the world by storm.
Now, today I want to understand what makes you tick stylistically. So, how did you decide on what you're putting on today?
So I had a few meetings this morning. I was out. So I always like, I've got a sort of, a staple wardrobe of, good pants, jackets, things that make me feel put together, professional, but comfortable. So I've got a trainer on as well because I always like to, march around town too. So yeah.
And you've got a ruby velvet jacket on. As pardon the pun, it's not you.
No.
Who's your jacket by?
So this is Saint Laurent.
Lovely.
Yeah. And then I think this is a Cos t-shirt. Yeah. And then these are Ray pants.
But you grew up in Sydney, Australia.
I did. Yeah.
Did you have a childhood running around in bikinis on the beach?
That was it. It's, obviously, warm, sunny beaches, barbecues. And yeah, it was just a very outdoorsy kind of a lifestyle, very sort of summer oriented.
And what sort of swimmers were you wearing at the time?
Our kind of shopping thing was going down to Bondi Beach or whatever, and you have all these sort of surf stores. So there was like a surfy vibe to it. Maybe the cool ones, it'd be the Quicksilver print, or there was a brand called Tiger Lily, and everyone would kind of, have the, whichever brand was cool at the time.
Were you very aware of beauty back then?
Absolutely not. No. But no.
And aware enough to put your SPF on?
Yeah, I was little though, so I was more sort of forcefully put on me.
Were you very aware of your mother's style?
As I've gotten older, yes. So my mother is incredibly stylish and incredibly into fashion.
And are you still sort of inspired by her?
Absolutely. So actually, she was staying with me the other night, and I had this wardrobe room, and she was staying that wardrobe room. I put all my clothes in this other bedroom, and she was staying in that bedroom. I can't remember. I was trying to look for something for my sister, and then we started laughing because I started opening up the cupboards, and I've got all this stuff. So my mother used to give me all hers. Actually, this is hers. It's not hers. And so over the years, because my mother loves clothes. So, she's always stocking up. So I'd be getting this stuff and I wouldn't throw any of it away. So she's laughing. She's like, what? You've got that old 90s Gucci leather. I'm like, yes, I've got that here. I've got that here. So, not sure if, anyway, I'm a hoarder, but I like to keep the good things. Even if they don't suit now, I'm like, they might suit later.
And do you have pieces in that wardrobe or in your cupboards that you remember your mother wearing?
Yes. I have her a dress that she wore on her 40th birthday. It's beautiful. It's like a floor length velvet, amazing thing. And maybe I'll wear that on my 40th birthday.
I love it. Yeah. Have you worn it?
Yes, I have. Yeah. It's really, I wore it to weddings.
Does she have input onto your current wardrobe? Do you ever sort of use her as a sounding board?
I definitely do. Like I love, I love it's a joyful, light conversation. If you care about it, it's just fun. It's fun to talk about how styles evolving, or talk about how we hate everything in the shops now, or, whatever it might.
It's always a good one, isn't it?
It's a great one. It's a great one. Yeah.
Now, you attended Cambridge University, you clever girl, studying social and political sciences. My goodness. What were you wearing back then?
I loved finding kind of great pieces, great sort of one-off pieces. So I really, when I come back to London, I'd spend time at, look around in the shops, and start to buy like those few sort of nice things. But at the same time, I think it was still when kind of Topshop was the thing. So, always like going in, finding like the great dress for the weekend, or whatever it might be. But yeah, I don't think it was like my key moment for style. just because you sort of got your head down and all of those sorts of things.
And that degree then, I suppose, took you to East Africa to get involved in risk analysis. Am I right?
Yes. So Somalia. So this was my first career. So I studied social and political sciences and then got this job doing geopolitical risk and analysis, which is kind of a natural thing. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And it's, came my way. I had a conversation with someone said, come and do some work experience. So I did and, got on with it. And, it was very interesting work. And so I was doing the work from London and I thought to myself, I can't really be, advising all of these like massive companies on what's happening, with Somali piracy in East Africa when I'm not on the ground. This is like a very kind of, young, early 20s kind of attitude test. So like, I'm going to go move to Kenya and take my career that next step. And so I moved to Kenya and then worked with a local group and then based sort of news agency slash, advisory firm and like got straight into it. It was such a small team. So I was like up and down into Mogadishu, speaking with the pirate gangs, finding out what was happening with the hijacked ships. I mean, it was a remarkably exciting time.
Brave. What were you wearing?
I wear my heel boots everywhere, a good big shirt, like I just wore what I liked. And I think actually that kind of I felt very comfortable and, part of my job was, really kind of getting to know people, talking to people. And it just be kind of owning my, not like overt femininity, but, not sort of, trying to pay along into the background. I actually think it really helped. It really helped sort of, build relationships in a way.
Did it help your confidence too?
Absolutely. And then I came back to London. So I had a choice. I was like, I could either stay here and keep doing this, but I think I knew it was always going to be a chapter, a reason, a season, a lifetime. That was a season. Came back. I knew London and this life was the one for me. And so I did a adjacent kind of thing for a while. That's when I was working, all hours of the day, starting to think about this idea. So I loved what I did, but it didn't drive me. It didn't keep me kind of, excited 24 hours a day.
And so started Ruuby from your kitchen table?
Essentially, yes. And then, like, it was as resourceful as I could. I would be marching up and down because we signed sound, was a sound booking thing at the beginning as well. So signing up sounds, going in, selling the dream, selling the vision. And then it's just sort of kind of become, and it's today.
You went out and found investment.
Yeah.
What did you wear when you were going out to find investment?
So I remember early on, I was still a little bit kind of rebellious. I wanted to be like, the kind of young upstart coming into tech. So I have like a ripped jean, a cool jacket, and probably slight like cool but casual. And I kind of go in and that was me. That was me. That was sort of how I'd sort of dress. Whereas now it's really evolved, and I think especially as one grows older, your style kind of changes a little bit.
What's your boardroom look?
So I am so grateful to fashion because I think it really does help, position you here. So it will be a suit. It will be a smart jacket. It will be a heel. I will wear a heel. If I need to feel confident and in control, I will wear a heel. I'm very tall, but, I just think that they are like your fashion can be your armor. If I feel bad in the morning, if I haven't slept, whatever it is, I'll put on a great outfit no matter what the day is because it just helps me kind of get through and reconnect with like that kind of confidence and power.
So you use clothes to empower you?
I really do. Yeah.
How would you want someone to describe your style DNA in 3 words?
Okay, so I think quirky because I do love like a little kind of statement accessory. I always like to bring something a bit witty into it. Powerful because I'm all about kind of a great sort of statement piece, and then comfortable. I don't like being uncomfortable. That ruins everything.
And very lucky to have such a cool mother that she gives you Saint Laurent jackets from back in the day.
I know.
What would you say is the sexiest look you wear?
So I love a great form-fitting dress. So, I think I love the Elia shapes. I just think you can't get better than that. And or sort of a more kind of longer, tighter sort of number. I think that's very, very sexy with a heel. A great dress. I've always loved a great dress.
Mm. Are you very aware of maintaining your weight, shape, size?
I mean, 6 months post baby, I'm like, oh, I guess I better get my groove back. But yes, for sure. I feel better. I feel so much better when I feel good in myself. And, weight is a part of that, but health as well. That's why I'm always in trainers, because I need to walk, 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 walk. Walking keeps me sane. Get the steps in. If you can't do anything, at least get your 10K a day.
Yeah, so it's so true. In terms of high street and designer, who's exciting you? And
So I used to do a lot of high street, like go into Zara, do the big haul. Now kind of less so. I think I really, I don't buy often, but I like to buy well. Um, but in terms of the high street, I think, we're talking about COS before. Those COS cashmere jumpers, just totally beautiful. And their shapes are amazing as well. So I really like that. Also, I'm kind of, yeah, I just think what they're doing is really amazing. And then in terms of designer, I don't. They're all amazing, right? And you could sort of go into any of them, and they're doing fabulous things. But I'm still trying to figure out where I would shop, because now, if you're going to go, it's a big investment. And what is it that you want to spend your money on? I think, like, do you all do great jackets? And if we're to buy one of those, that would be the jacket, that you have forever.
where are you at on the sort of Chanel 55 bag, that sort of thing?
I mean, obviously they're beautiful bags, but again, I just they do. I feel it's very saturated. All I do is see so and so's unboxing of their £5,000 handbag, and I don't like it, and it doesn't make me want one. Obviously, I appreciate the beauty of them, but I don't like the way that there is kind of incredible kind of consumerism that we're seeing, particularly around bags at the moment.
Yeah. What stay at home, chilled out Venetia wearing?
I mean, I'm so relaxed at home. It's jeans, it's a jumper. I mean, I've been wearing the Topshop jeans forever. I love like a boyfriend jean. They call them the editor jean. That kind of like type here with a little kind of flare at the bottom.
Yeah.
I loved skinny jeans. I really did.
Gonna sneak back.
I think so. Not skinny, but just more of a kind of tapered number.
Have you ever worked with a stylist?
No, I probably would. There's so much fun that can be had with fashion, and it takes a long time to look through everything, to know who's got what, to think about the combinations. And I think if my life ever, if I ever sort of had a period where it was, more sort of public facing, and I had the kind of, the mojo to feel like I wanted to look $1 million, why not?
Is your wardrobe very organized?
Yes, it's organized, but there's definitely a hell of a lot that needs to go,
And what would you do with it when it goes? Would you sell it? Would you?
Well, I think you just split it so many different ways. You sell some stuff, you give some stuff to charity, give some stuff to friends. I need to do a whole. I need to haul it. I'm in that sort of mindset now. I need to just spring clean.
Would you say you've had a worst fashion moment?
In the early 2000s, Paris Hilton, the Juicy Couture tracksuits, the Von Dutch caps, Britney Spears, all of those buzzwords. Imagine. So yeah,
I love that. And how did your mother react to that?
Oh, I remember every single name of the Juicy Couture colors of tracksuits, because I just like look online and be like, oh my God.
Let's talk about travel. Are you very aware of your travel look?
Yeah, I do. I really like to be comfortable. I like to be comfortable. So, a nice big bag that fits everything. But, I like to have a big hoodie, for overnight flight, put the hoodie down, a good pair of jeans, a good trainer. What is your carry-on of choice? So I got this amazing Varley bag. So it's a sports bag, but it's got all these different kind of compartments in it. So, it's got the nappies, the bottles, the snacks, and all of that. So it's quite easy to organize within that one.
And wheelie luggage?
Do you know what? I don't. Well, I do that for a long haul, but I'm sure I don't like a wheel. I like to carry my bag.
If you're going for longer than overnight, how many pieces of luggage do you take?
Not that many. I'm quite a light packer.
Are you a planner in terms of your wardrobe? Do you think ahead and sort of plan half a dozen looks?
I'm a mood dresser through and through. And I look through my wardrobe and I find something, think, oh, I'd like to wear that. And then I'll build something around it.
So which brand would be your guilty secret and why?
Oh gosh. Okay. Great question. Guilty secret and why. So there's this amazing brand called Naranjo. Incredible evening wear, beautiful dresses, like silk dresses, structured dresses, cords, top skirts. It's just the best brand for kind of going out and having something that feels fabulous. So that's always my go-to if I want to get something good for an occasion. Yeah. Not a guilty pleasure, but definitely, a treat. A treat. Yeah.
What would you say is the most expensive item of clothing or accessory in your wardrobe? I'm not asking for the price tag.
Yeah.
But what is the piece? Describe the piece to me.
I have a beautiful vintage Chanel dress that I bought because of closing a fundraise with Ruuby. I was like, this is such a moment to kind of celebrate and things. So I bought myself this dress. It's so cool, so fabulous. It's orange, and so I bought it from this so it's this incredible vintage store on Notting Hill Gate. It's like Aladdin's cave. It's all together. You've got everything like smashed together. It's almost impossible to navigate, but I just have this thought that when I go in, I'm like, because you can buy, really amazing vintage stuff, or you can get these kind of cool sort of less expensive items that are just really great.
Have you ever justified an expensive purchase with pounds per wear?
I don't buy all the time, but if I buy something good, I know I'm going to wear it time and time again.
What's your approach to sustainable fashion?
I think it's really, really important. So I think that the way that we shop and consume fashion is changing. You sort of see the rise of your rental platforms like Buy Rotation. And
Do you ever rent?
yeah, I use Buy Rotation. I think it's great. I think it's super great.
What would you say is the oldest piece in your wardrobe?
I've got a beautiful Colette Dinnigan silk dress of my mother's, which has this antique lace, and it's absolutely timeless. And I remember so I must have been really little. So it was when I was in Australia. So it must have been, like 9 or 10.
And she was a huge brand back then.
It was a huge brand. It was like quintessentially Australian. Yeah, such a cool brand. And I remember going, and it was so boring at the time, going, but I remember it, and I remember that piece, and now I have it in my cupboard. So,
And do you wear it at all?
yes, I do. Yeah. So I get so much wear out of this stuff.
And do you feel particularly cautious or protective about an older piece, or more respectful of an older piece?
Definitely, I do. I do. And I love the story. I love, knowing that, this piece has a story, and it will again, because I've got my daughters. Like I think about these things in my cupboard. I think, that I'm going to keep that because I want my daughter to have that.
Does your daughter, or the 4-year-old at least, have an opinion on what you wear?
She does. She only wants to wear dresses. So I used to do that when I was little. Now Penelope will only wear dresses. She's got this beautiful little cupboard of these gorgeous, sweet little dresses. And then she tells me, what I should be wearing. And she says, that looks good, that doesn't. And she'll open my cupboard and she'll be like, wear this. And she'll pull something out. And I think, actually, yes, why not wear that? It's fun to see fashion through her eyes because, so magical to see these colors and materials and sequins and sparkles from her.
Let's spin on to some quick fires. What fashion advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
Less is more.
Which fashion trend or era would you most like to see make a comeback?
The 60s. I love those like 60s mod dresses, cute flats. Just, yes, please. Get the legs out. Yeah.
What fashion or beauty trend would you consign to room 101?
Eyebrow lamination. And there's like HD brows.
Your last impulse buy?
My last impulse buy, which is really boring, was like these 3 white cos t-shirts.
Views on tattoos?
I have a tattoo. It's a semi-permanent tattoo, quote unquote, which I got like almost 2 years ago. It's a shark under here. Shark. It's a shark. Well, listen, I went to LA. My friend's like, do you want to get this semi-permanent tattoo? I'm like, I'd never get one otherwise, but it's not gone yet. It'll take fading. Yeah, it's like, God. I know. So,
Beauty treatment you couldn't give up?
a massage. There's nothing better, nothing more relaxing.
And a specific type of massage?
Deep tissue all the way.
High end or high street?
High end.
Bling or bear?
Bear.
Couture or charity shop?
Charity shop.
Crocs, cute or puke?
Puke.
Sneakers or stilettos?
Sneakers.
Skinnies or boyfriends?
I mean skinnies, I can't wait for him to come back. That's where my heart is.
Bodycon or boho?
Bodycon.
Sports luxe or rock chick?
Rock chick.
Red carpet or relax?
Red carpet.
Trend or style?
Style.
Experimental or uniform?
Experimental.
Cashmere or cotton?
Cashmere.
She whispers. Beanie or berry?
Beanie.
Hoarder or editor?
Or hoarder, it seems.
Shapewear or lingerie?
Lingerie.
Tights or stockings?
Tights.
Bikini or one piece?
Bikini.
And finally, at the end of the day, what do you or don't you wear in bed?
I wear silk pajamas.
How gorgeous.
Yes.
Venetia, thank you. What a lovely conversation and style journey.
Thank you so much.
Great to see you.
Me too.